Welcome to today's deep dive. We're jumping straight into something incredibly intense today. We're doing a full scene-by-scene breakdown of this massive, visceral sci-fi narrative.
Oh yeah, it is a wild ride.
It really is. And our mission today is just to treat this like the cinematic blockbuster experience that it is. No outside context, just pure plot progression, the betrayals, the action beats, and the tragedy of it all. So are you ready to jump in?
Absolutely, put me in the dropship. Let's go.
Awesome. Okay, so we start this entire story at a dead sprint. Literally a cold open. Imagine, sprinting down a dark, claustrophobic, high-tech corridor.
Yeah.
The emergency lighting is flashing this really harsh, blinding red.
Oh man, that classic alarm lighting.
Right, exactly. And the sirens are just screaming in your ears. And every time you glance back over your shoulder, the shadows themselves seem to be moving because you are being hunted by the ultimate apex predator.
You can practically feel the heavy metallic thud of the footsteps right behind you, just closing the distance with terrifying speed.
Yeah. And our entry point into this absolute nightmare is this terrified woman named Julie. She is running for her life. She's throwing herself through these massive metal blast doors, and she just barely clears the threshold before they slam shut.
Just in the nick of time.
Right. And stalking her is a xenomorph. It is massive. It's biomechanical, dripping with acid, and just pure, unadulterated predatory aggression. It rises up, its teeth are bared, it is totally ready to strike. And then out of nowhere, the tension just completely evaporates.
It just stops.
It snaps out of it, yeah. The xenomorph stops dead in its tracks.
Because, well, it's not actually a biological alien.
No, it is a synthetic, it's a meticulously crafted mechanical clone that they call Norbert, which is such a funny name for a killing machine.
It really is.
But the monster isn't acting on instinct, right? It's being remote controlled by this man named Dr. Stan Mayakovsky.
And this immediately flips our entire understanding of the world we've just dropped into. I mean, you take the most terrifying biological organism imaginable and you just strip away its autonomy. It is a puppet. But what makes this scenario so compelling, it isn't just the synthetic alien itself. It's the puppeteer.
Exactly.
Because Dr. Stan Mayakovsky is arguably the most tragic anchor for this entire mission.
Yeah.
He is a brilliant roboticist, sure, but his own biology is completely betraying him. He is dying of terminal cancer.
Yeah, you have to put yourself in Stan's shoes for a second. His body is a rotting prison.
Yeah.
Every single breath is pain. He is biologically expiring. So, I mean, what do? You turn to an addiction that lets you escape that failing biology.
Which brings us to the jelly.
Yes, Stan is completely dependent on this glowing blue substance called royal jelly, or Xenozip. It is the raw, unrefined narcotic harvested directly from the alien queen mother.
And we really have to understand the specific mechanism of this jelly because it literally drives every single tactical decision that follows in the story.
Right, it's not just a normal drug.
No, it's not just a chemical that gets you high or numbs your pain. The royal jelly acts as a consciousness time machine. When Stan consumes it, his mind doesn't just recall his past. It immerses him entirely into perfect lived memories. He physically and emotionally re-experiences his healthiest, happiest moments with absolutely flawless fidelity.
But the problem is, the clock is ticking. His supply of this blue jelly is almost totally gone, which forces Julie to look at this dying scientist, look at his terrifying robotic pet Norbert, and basically pitch the ultimate insane heist.
It's the craziest plan ever.
It really is. The pitch is they're going to transport Norbert to a hostile planet, drop him into an active, swarming alien hive, and use him to physically steal a mountain of royal jelly.
Right, out from under them.
Right. She compares the strategy to cybernetic ants infiltrating insect colonies. But
Yeah.
I have to stop here and ask the obvious question. I mean, if insects operate on pheromones, how exactly do you hide the smell of industrial lubricants and hot metal and lithium batteries inside a biological hive?
Yeah.
Wouldn't the real aliens just instantly recognize him and tear him apart?
See, that is the exact friction point of the entire operation. The whole infiltration relies on this highly dangerous biological exploit.
Okay.
Because the xenomorph hive mind, it doesn't rely on sight. It relies on complex chemical signatures. So to pull this heist off, Norbert cannot just look like a xenomorph. He has to biologically mask his mechanical reality.
So he's sweating.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
He is designed to physically sweat biomimetic chemical markers. It is an active camouflage system where cold synthetic technology is constantly pumping out the pheromones of organic terror.
That is so wild. But a plan this insanely ambitious is, utterly useless if you can't transport the hardware to the target. They need a deep space dropship.
Yeah, they need a ride.
And chartering a ride into the darkest corners of space means getting into bed with scavengers.
Oh, totally. The transition from that sterile, controlled lab to the orbit ship, the Lancet, it immediately introduces a completely new layer of claustrophobic tension.
Yeah.
The environment is just no longer controlled.
Right. They board the Lancet, and instantly you realize this is a closed-loop ecosystem of pure paranoia. We are introduced to Captain Potter, who just radiates this treacherous, opportunistic energy from minute one.
Oh, you know he's bad news right away.
Exactly. He's commanding a crew of heavily armed human mercenaries, and then right alongside them, there's Gil.
Ah, Gil.
Yeah, Gil is a synthetic crew member who is entirely cold, entirely analytical, and openly tells Julie that he finds humans boring.
Yeah, so you have this crew of greedy mercenaries, a dying addict, a desperate woman, and synthetic beings who fundamentally look down on the flawed organic crew. The tension isn't just interpersonal here.
Right.
It is philosophical. Stan idolizes the immortal perfection of machines, mainly because his own organic body is failing him so badly.
Right, he hates his biology.
Exactly. While the human mercenaries just view the synthetics as expendable tools, nothing more.
And that philosophical tension just violently explodes during the mission briefing.
It is so sudden.
It is. They've got Norbert in the room. This towering lethal weapon is just standing there on standby. And one of the human mercenaries, trying to, assert dominance or whatever, provokes Norbert.
The worst idea imaginable.
He actively messes with a mechanical apex predator. And in a fraction of a second, faster than the human eye can even track, Norbert's instinctual programming just overrides its standby mode.
It just snaps.
Yeah, the synthetic alien lashes out and violently crushes the mercenary's head.
Oh, man.
It is this brutal, unthinking explosion of violence. Blood just coats the metal decking of the ship.
And this right here is a critical failure of Stan's entire design philosophy.
How so?
Well, he believed he could perfectly control the machine, right? But form dictates function. If you build a chassis that is modeled exactly after the universe's most efficient killing machine, you really cannot be surprised when the hardware bleeds through the software.
That makes total sense. And Stan realizes he's losing control. He desperately screams the abort code. He yells, "Priority override, code Myrmidon." And Norbert freezes. He just locks up in place while literally dripping with human gore.
It's such a striking image.
It is. You cannot leash a hurricane. They brought a loaded, sentient weapon into a confined space, and they are still miles above their target with blood already on the floor.
The mission is stained before it even begins. And honestly, the environment they are descending into is completely unforgiving.
Absolutely unforgiving. So the dropship, the Dolomite, it detaches from the Lancet and plummets toward the target planet, AG-194.
Yeah.
You can practically smell the ozone and feel the sheer, crushing atmosphere of this place. It is this apocalyptic, heavily irradiated rock that is just constantly buffeted by violent, blinding electrical storms.
It's basically hell.
Yeah, they touch down the mud, the ramp lowers, and it is time to deploy their Trojan horse.
So Norbert steps out into the irradiated rain, and the environment drastically shifts from the cold, industrial metal of the human ship to the suffocating, biomechanical nightmare of the alien tunnels. The sensory details here are crucial. It's sweltering hot, it's pitch black. The walls are coated in this secreted skeletal resin that looks exactly like rib cages fused right into the rock.
It's so gross. And Norbert is just stalking through the shadows, pumping out those biomimetic pheromones, trying to remain totally invisible to the hive mind.
Yeah, trying to blend in.
But the theory of biological masking is totally shatters against the reality of the swarm. The real xenomorphs, the hive's drones, the beekeepers, as Julie calls them.
Yeah.
They sense the artificiality. The pheromones just aren't enough to hide the machinery. The shadows essentially peel away, and they swarm him.
It is terrifying.
It is absolute visceral destruction. We're talking overwhelming, crushing numbers just tearing a machine limb from limb. Norbert is literally ripped in half.
Oh, yeah.
His cybernetic insides are sparking. Mechanical fluid is mixing with burning alien acid as the suffocating blackness of the swarm just completely swallows him whole.
The sheer, terrifying efficiency of the real xenomorphs is put on full display here. They don't just kill the synthetic intruder, they dismantle him with surgical precision. Nature aggressively rejects the artificial imitation.
But check this out, because this is where the tactical reality of the heist completely flips on its head. Back on the ship, the crew gets the telemetry transmission. Norbert is completely obliterated, a total write-off.
Yeah.
But just before his core was crushed, His extraction protocols succeeded.
Unbelievable.
He actually managed to transfer a full cargo hold of the raw royal jelly to the dropship. The heist worked. They are sitting on a fortune that could literally buy planets.
They have the ultimate prize.
They do.
Yeah.
And how does Stan react? Does he celebrate?
Nope.
No. He stares at the static on the monitor and he just screams, "N-O," with his earth-shattering devastation.
Because Stan's humanity is completely warping under the weight of his illness. I mean, think about it. He has just secured the one substance that will grant him eternal peace.
Right.
But he is weeping for the machine. He is screaming in agony for Norbert, grieving this synthetic creation with a depth of emotion he completely withheld when his machine smashed a human crew member's head earlier that exact same day.
Wow, yeah. His priorities are totally inverted. He loves the clean immortality of the machine, and he essentially despises the messy reality of organic life.
Exactly. His mind is acting like a corrupted hard drive. It's constantly trying to overwrite his decaying present with pristine, indestructible data.
Right.
And that obsession, it leads to the most illogical, suicidal decision of the entire narrative.
Okay, yes, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Because the storm is raging outside, the ship is loaded with a king's ransom and jelly they have won, and Stan and Julie decide to put on their gear, step off the ramp, and walk right back out into the apocalyptic storm.
Just unbelievable.
They'll plunge right back into the suffocating darkness of the alien nest. Now, I have to stop and aggressively question this.
Yeah, please do.
Why on earth are a frail, dying scientist and a human woman walking directly into the most dangerous biological meat grinder in the universe when they already have exactly what they came for?
I know it completely defies survival instinct, but you really have to view this through the psychology of profound addiction.
Yeah.
The jelly isn't just a high for Stan. It represents a warm blue eternity where he isn't dying. The mere taste of success just wasn't enough for him.
He needs more.
His obsession demands that he see the source. He wants to be closer to the perfection of the hive itself. The basic logic of survival has been totally overridden by the desperate need to merge with the source of his salvation.
And the physical cost of that obsession is collected almost immediately. They're trekking deep into those skeletal resin tunnels, and the silence just shatters.
They're made.
Yeah, they're spotted. The Xenomorphs are instantly on them. Julie doesn't even hesitate. She screams, "Let's give these crabs a dose," and just unleashes absolute hell with her pulse rifle.
Such a great action beat.
Oh, it's wild. The sensory overload of this shootout is insane. You have the deafening, staccato flash of automatic gunfire lighting up the pitch-black tunnels. The acrid smell of alien blood burning through the floor grates like acid rain.
Yeah.
Creatures are dropping from the ceiling, hissing in the dark. It is pure chaos.
And they are forced into a desperate fighting retreat. They have to sprint back out into the blinding electrical storm, racing for the safety of the dropship's airlock.
Right.
It is a frantic scramble against apex predators that are faster, stronger, and perfectly adapted to the terrain.
And they almost make it. They make it to the ramp. They're inches from safety. But out of the blinding rain, a xenomorph claws its way up the metal decking.
Oh, this part.
It lunges, and it grabs Julie right at the threshold. It is this horrific, chaotic sequence. Her arm is violently caught. Blood is just spraying in a massive arc across the landing gear as Stan and the synthetic guild desperately grab her. They drag her inside and slam the heavy airlock doors shut.
So Julie survives, but she pays a massive biological price. Her body is physically mangled by the reality of the hive, punishing them for their trespass.
Yeah, she is in bad shape. But surviving the biological meat grinder of the hive was really just the prelude, because the real threat wasn't waiting in the mud.
Right.
It was waiting in orbit.
Yeah.
They patch up Julie, they catch their breath in the quiet of the ship, and then the comms crackle to life. It's Captain Potter up on the Lancet.
The betrayal.
He executes the double cross. He calmly informs them that he has taken the jelly they sent up, and he is leaving them on this irradiated rock to rot.
Just cold.
So cold. He deploys heavily armed mercenaries in a shuttle to drop to the surface, secure the perimeter, and execute Stan's surviving crew.
Potter is operating on pure, arrogant greed. He completely assumes his human mercenaries have the ultimate tactical advantage.
Gives it their guns.
Right. They have the firepower, the thermal scopes, the military training. They're descending to, clean up a mess.
But Potter's military hubris completely ignores the apex biology of the planet.
Entirely.
The mercenaries land, they march out into the blinding storm, guns raised, totally confident they are just going to execute an unarmed dying scientist and an injured woman.
Yeah.
and they walk directly into a slaughter.
Absolute slaughter.
The xenomorphs use the chaotic cover of the storm to ambush them. The soldiers think their weapons make them gods, but the aliens just drop from the sheer cliffs. They burst upward from the irradiated mud.
It's so fast.
Yeah, the mercenaries are screaming, firing wildly into the dark, but it is a massacre. High-tech armor means absolutely nothing against evolutionary perfection. They're absolutely butchered.
In this sequence, it provides the final chilling evolution of Dr. Stan Mayakovsky.
Okay.
While the mercenaries are being ripped apart in the mud outside, one of them, just terrified, covered in mud and blood, he crawls his way up to the reinforced glass door of Stan's ship.
Yeah.
He is banging on the glass. He is begging for his life, just screaming for Stan to open the door and save him.
And wait, this is the craziest part of the whole thing. Stan doesn't panic. He doesn't even look away in horror.
No.
He just stands there on the other side of the thick glass, completely devoid of empathy. He is actually holding one of his little mechanical cyber ants, just passively examining it, while his xenomorph rises up behind the screaming mercenary and slaughters him right against the window.
It's so dark.
Stan isn't just frozen in shock. He is studying the chaos. He is letting the xenomorphs act as his personal exterminators to clear the board.
He has basically become as cold and synthetic as the machines he builds. I mean, he started this journey as a tragic romantic, right?
Right.
A frail man longing for his past.
Yeah, a victim of his body.
Exactly. But this hostile planet has forged him into a ruthless, hardened survivor. He isn't just watching the mercenary die. He is calculating his counterattack against Potter. Stan operates like an aggressive biological virus.
Yes. The tactical flip here is incredibly satisfying. Stan gets back on the comms with Potter up in orbit.
Oh, this is the best part.
Potter is so smug. He thinks his mercenaries are handling it on the ground. But Stan doesn't beg for his life. He doesn't try to negotiate a cut of the jelly. He simply looks into the camera and calmly says, "Activate subroutine Diogenes."
Yeah.
Up on the Lancet, Potter looks confused. He looks down at his hand, and suddenly, violently, his own finger snaps backward with a sickening crack.
Oh, man.
But it's not red human blood that oozes out. It is white synthetic fluid.
The grand reveal, Potter is a synthetic.
I'm mind blown.
But the real brilliance here is the name of the kill switch, subroutine Diogenes.
Right, explain that, because that's super deep.
So Diogenes was the ancient philosopher who famously walked the streets in broad daylight carrying a lantern, claiming he was looking for a single honest man.
Okay.
Stan named his virus Diogenes because he used it to expose the fake human hiding in plain sight. Stan knew Potter was a machine from the very beginning.
Wow.
He planted a dormant override code inside Potter's programming before they ever even launched. Stan allowed the entire betrayal to happen because he held the kill switch the entire time.
It is the ultimate checkmate.
Yeah.
Stan delivers this incredibly cold, poetic line over the comms as Potter's synthetic body just violently shuts down. He says, "Gentlemen, in the rich man's house there is no place to spit, but in his face."
Brutal.
It is a devastating, absolute victory. Potter is dead. The mercenaries are dead. The dying scientist outsmarted the military commander.
But you know, the victory is kind of a trap.
How so?
Well, they have won the tactical war of betrayal, sure, but they are still marooned on the surface of an apocalyptic planet.
Right.
The perimeter charges they set up outside the ship are failing. You just hear boom, boom, boom. The swarm of xenomorphs is battering against the reinforced hull. The heavy metal is literally groaning under the weight of the hive.
They are completely surrounded.
They are entirely out of time. And more importantly, Stan's biological clock has finally run out. His cancer is advancing into its final terminal stages right there in the med bay.
Which brings us to the cinematic climax. This is what we call the warm blue eternity. The noise of the aliens screaming outside, the thunder of the irradiated storm, the explosions, it all becomes muffled. Inside the sterile white of the ship's med bay, there is this eerie, calm silence.
It's so peaceful suddenly.
Julie is lying there, heavily bandaged and bleeding from the airlock attack. But she is looking at Stan, and she is smiling.
Because they know it's the end. Stan reaches into his coat. He pulls out the single glowing blue vial of the unrefined royal jelly. He knows this is the absolute end of his physical existence.
Yeah.
The board is clear. There are just no more moves to make in the physical world, so he drinks the blue liquid. He steps forward, takes Julie in his arms, and he kisses her.
The transition here is hauntingly beautiful. You have this brutal, metallic, blood-soaked reality of the planet just inches away outside the door.
Right.
And suddenly, the violent reality dissolves. It fades into this warm, endless blue darkness. The pain washes away into an ocean of perfect memory.
The physical world ceases to matter. The cancer eating his body, the terrifying aliens battering at the door, the cold metal of the ship, they all just vanish. Yeah.
Stan has successfully achieved his ultimate goal. He secured the payload. But his prize is an artificial eternity locked inside his own decaying mind.
It's tragic but beautiful. The final frame of this nightmare is something that just sticks with you. It is a tight, silent shot on one of those solitary mechanical cyber ants, marked A7, just staring forward into the dark void.
Yeah.
And layered over the image is a classic Japanese death poem. Had I not known that I was dead already.
It perfectly captures the thematic core of the entire journey. Stan was a ghost before the dropship ever launched.
Right.
He was already dead. The heist, the bloodshed, the betrayal, the xenomorphs, it was all just the violent turbulence required to cross over from the painful reality of organic life into the peaceful, flawless illusion of death.
So what does this all actually mean for us as the audience? It leaves us with a totally mind-bending, provocative question to wrap up this deep dive.
I love this part. Throughout this entire story, Stan hated his failing biology and idealized the perfect immortality of synthetics. But in the end, he relies on a biological alien chemical to escape his reality.
Right.
If the royal jelly creates a memory that is completely flawlessly indistinguishable from reality, I mean, did Stan actually die in that medbay?
Oh, wow.
Or did he just use alien biology to successfully upload his consciousness into a perfect permanent timeline where he gets to exist with Julie forever? I mean, if the illusion is perfect, does the physical reality outside the door even matter?
That is heavy. It entirely blurs the line between a biological death and a synthetic upload.
Exactly. Think about that next time you wish you could just live in the past. That is the terrifying, beautiful thought we'll leave you with today. Until next time, keep your eyes on the shadows and maybe, don't build robotic aliens in your basement.